The West spawned many different types of men, and one of the most dangerous was Whit Purcell.
Well, you're going to be as flashy as an Eastern dude.
A successful newspaper man should dress the part.
Well, the hat's all right, but, Harris, this coat.
What's wrong?
Vulture just rode into town.
Him? Mm-hmm. You joking? That's about the mildest looking man I've ever seen. He's not even wearing a gun.
Whit Purcell does his killing without one. He's what you might call a killer's agent. He makes his living by arranging for murders.
What do you mean?
Well, let's suppose a man has an enemy. Instead of handling it himself, he sends for Purcell.
And then what?
For $1,000, Purcell agrees to handle it. And then he sends for his partner, Stu Regan. Regan locates his victim, baits him into a fight, and guns him down.
And he and Purcell collect the money and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Nice business.
Yeah, and they make a fine combination. Regan's short on brains, but he's fast with a gun. Purcell can't shoot for sour apples, but he thinks quick.
And someone here in Tombstone must be marked for murder. Wonder who? And if he knows it. An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory.
Bartender, set up another round of drinks for the game.
You figure on being in town long, Mr. Purcell?
Well, that all depends on how much time it takes me to finish my business. Here we go. Oh, afternoon, Sheriff. Would you care to join us in a friendly drink?
I don't feel very friendly.
Oh, now, that's no way to talk, Clay. Mr. Purcell's a visitor in our town.
A very temporary visitor. Now finish your drink and get out.
Well, Sheriff, what...
You can drop the act, Purcell. I've seen you operate before, in Dodge City. This is one town that you're not going to get away with murder.
Well, I think that's out of line, Clay.
When you start letting me run your bank, Eli, then I'll let you tell me how to handle my job.
Well, Sheriff, the way you're acting, somebody might think I'm a dangerous character.
Oh? What would you call a killer?
Well, now, that's very strong talk. Why, I don't even carry a weapon. Unless you count, this.
Let me give you some advice, Mr. Purcell. Get on your horse and get out now, while you still can.
I'll get out, Mr. Hollister, when I finish my business. Not before.
He's right, Clay. There are no keep-out signs posted at the city limits. You can't run a man out of town unless he's done something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that does make it harder.
Sheriff seems to have gotten out of the wrong side of the bed this morning. Let's drink to his recovery, huh?
Well, I take it you couldn't scare Purcell out of town.
Nope. I didn't figure it'd work, but it was worth a try.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know. For the first time since I put on this badge, I feel kind of helpless.
There ought to be some way.
I can't do anything until they make a move. By that time, it'll probably be too late.
If you only knew who they had in mind, you could at least warn him.
Yeah, it's part of the battle. But I gotta find out who hired him.
Well, You've got your problems. And I've got mine. Getting out a newspaper.
Just leave room for an obituary.
In Tombstone, I always do.
Excuse me.
My fault, Mr. Ramsey. You got a heavy load there. Haven't seen you in town lately.
Been busy out the ranch.
Any news I can use the epitaph out your way?
No. No, nothing going on. I'll let you know if anything happens.
Thanks, I'd appreciate it. Hello, Tom. Thought I'd stop by and see if I could get anything for the epitaph.
Pardon me. You're Harris Clyburn of the epitaph, aren't you?
That's right.
Well, you're just the man who can help me out. I suppose you heard about my run-in with the sheriff this morning.
Well, there's been some talk.
Well, that's what I was afraid of. I'd like to call on your good offices, if I may. Bartender, would you give me...
Well, what's the matter with you, mister? You just spilled it.
Well, I'll give him another drink, will you? I'm awfully sorry.
I just don't understand people like you.
What'd you do that for? I apologized.
You know, for a little man, you got a mighty big mouth. From now on, keep it shut.
Why, you stupid lummox. You want trouble?
I said put a halter on that lip.
Leave him alone.
You keep out of this.
I don't like to see anybody pushed around.
Looks to me like you're trying to make his business yours, mister.
I'm not looking for any trouble. I'm not running from it either.
Oh, now. Forget it, Mr. Clyburn. No reason for you to get mixed up in this.
He started this. Maybe he'd like to finish it.
I sure would.
I'm not armed.
Don't trouble yourself none about that, mister. I carry an extra. Now you have a gun. Use it. Well, go on. Move your hand a little closer to it. I'm not going to draw. Yet. Well, go ahead. I'm waiting.
Harris! There's not going to be any shooting unless you want to take me on.
That fellow started.
I know how it started, Mr. Purcell.
It's my gun.
Well, you ought to be more careful what you do with it.
What do you mean?
You know, you've heard of cases where men were shot with their own guns?
Oh, well, that wouldn't have happened.
Maybe not.
Thanks.
Oh, you handled that very nicely, Sheriff.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, Mr. Clyburn, I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to have our talk.
Some other time.
Well, I'll be looking forward to it.
Remind me to stay out of saloons.
You act like what I told you's a joke. Now, will you stay away from Purcell?
You act like it was my fault. I was standing there. He came up to talk to me. I figured I'd let him talk.
And a couple of seconds later, that skinny gunhawk showed up. Is that right?
Yeah. It all started over practically nothing.
That's where you're wrong. That whole fight was planned down to the last detail. About 2 seconds more, and you'd have been nothing but an obituary notice in your own newspaper. That fella you had the run-in with? That's Stu Regan.
Stu Regan?
Yeah. We know he's in town to kill somebody. Well, he almost accomplished his purpose.
Me?
Well, he's not going to waste time picking fights with strangers unless he's hired to.
Me? Why?
Well, let's find out.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is sign Fred here to stick as close to you as possible.
You really think I need him, Clay?
Well, after what almost happened in the Oriental, yes. Remember, Harris, $1,000 is a lot of money. For a man like Regan, killing's an easy way to earn it.
Purcell really made me take the bait, didn't he?
Yeah. A little man with a smile on his face and murder in his heart.
There ought to be some way to stop those two. I'm rather personally interested now.
Until an actual attempt is made on your life, there's nothing I can do.
Well, that's just dandy.
At least you know it's you they're out to get. Most of Regan's victims don't even have that privilege.
I don't feel so honored.
Harris, can you think of anybody that might want to kill you?
Newspaper editor makes lots of enemies.
It looks like you made one real good one.
Well, come on, bird dog.
Where are you going?
Back to the office. I've got a newspaper to get out.
I guess I'll tag along with two of you.
Clay, one bodyguard at a time's enough.
Yeah? So, you know, it's a real nice jacket. Sure hate to see him get buried in it, wouldn't you, Fred?
All right, let's go.
Hollister. Well, hello, Hollister. How's the fair city of Tombstone? Quiet, I hope?
It has been lately. Now that you and Regan are in town, I'm looking for change.
You've got Stu and me all wrong.
Oh? You know, sooner or later, you're going to make a mistake. I'll wait.
Well, good for you. Nice talking to you, Hollister.
Here you are, sir. Afternoon, Clay.
Well?
I don't think there's any mail for you, but I'll...
No, I want some information.
Glad to be of help.
A couple of minutes ago, a little fat fella, always smiling, picked up a letter. I want to know who sent it and from where.
Wish I could tell you, Clay.
Look, Will, this could be important. It could help to save a man's life. You do know who sent it, don't you?
Matter of fact, I do. Was mailed right here at the post office this morning. This is confidential, remember? After all, he put a stamp on it. Makes it official mail.
Do you trust me, Will?
Martin Ramsey left it. It was addressed to a man named Whit Purcell, the little fat man you spoke of. Ramsey told me he'd be by to pick it up.
Oh, thanks, Will.
Confidential, remember? A postal clerk is sort of like a doctor about these things.
Well, Doc, let's hope you just saved a life.
There must be some mistake.
The letter was sent by Ramsey and picked up by Purcell. Connection's obvious.
I hardly know Ramsey. I haven't spoken to Ramsey 3 times in my life. Now, why would he want me killed?
What do you know about him?
Not too much. He bought the Salter Ranch. He's a quiet man, keeps to himself. Doing very well, so I've heard.
Well, think back. Maybe you can place him.
Clay, like I said before, a newspaper editor makes a great many enemies.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody you exposed in the newspaper and sent to jail. A man you had a fight with.
Sent to jail. Martin Connors, he was a lawyer. I helped send him to prison for embezzlement when I was working on a paper in St. Louis. It couldn't be. Connors didn't look a thing like Ramsey.
Well, how long ago was that?
A little over 10 years, I guess.
Well, 10 years in a prison term can change a man considerably.
Well, without his beard, younger, maybe 20 pounds lighter, it's possible.
Well, Martin Ramsey or Martin Connors doesn't make much difference. The important thing is we know who hired Regan and Purcell.
Well, frankly, I don't feel much better off. I've still got a loaded gun at my head.
I wonder how this would look on me.
Well, this is a fine time to be talking about haberdashery.
You know what they say, clothes make the man. Hey, that's pretty good. I think I'll order one from Chicago.
Look, if it'll get your mind back to the problem, you can have the hat. You can have the coat, too, if it's any help.
Well, thanks. I think it will. They are about the same size in the chest. Sleeves are a little short, though. How's it look?
Like a newspaper editor who's about to be shot.
Good. Let's hope that Regan thinks the same way.
Oh, now, wait, Clay. I don't want you taking my bullet.
Harris, I don't want either one of us to take a bullet. But shooting's my job. Yours is writing obituaries, remember? Here's what I want you and Fred to do.
Will you stop worrying? Regan knows his business. There's no substitute for experience. There he is now. I guess you owe us $1,000, Mr. Ramsey.
Evening, Mr. Ramsey. Happened to be in the neighborhood, so Fred and I thought we'd drop in on you for a while. Well, Mr. Purcell, this is a surprise.
Nice seeing you again. Maybe we can finish up that talk we were going to have.
Oh, a lot of things are going to be finished up before this night's over. It never occurred to me before, Mr. Ramsey, but you look a great deal like a man I used to know in St. Louis. A fellow by the name of Connors.
Oh? I don't think I ever heard of him.
I didn't think you had.
Well, gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment in town.
Sit down, Mr. Purcell. And you too, Ramsey. Sit down. We have some more company coming. I think we should all be here to greet them.
alone in the dark can be dangerous. Didn't anybody ever tell you that? Scared? You should be. Because we're finishing up what we started in the bar. I see your arm this time. Make your move.
This time you have the privilege. Now earn your money.
Well, you didn't earn it. Hollister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks like you'll live a long time. But you won't need this in prison. Well, let's get that shoulder doctored up. You and I are going visiting.
Wondering who it is, Mr. Purcell? I was getting worried.
Yeah, I was a little worried, too. You're both under arrest.
On what charge?
Conspiracy to commit murder.
Well, it takes proof to convict a man, Sheriff. I don't think you have any.
Oh? Well, some men just don't like to sit in prison alone. Regan did a lot of talking. Brad? All right, Ramsey, you two.
You are Martin Connors, aren't you? Why did you want to have me killed?
Well, I was afraid you'd recognize me.
As far as I'm concerned, you'd paid for your crime. You went to prison. I had no reason to expose you.
You mean you didn't know I'd escaped?
We do now. Let's go.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory to Tombstone territory.
There you go, Jimmy. You figure this is the way to make the trip to Larrabee without us along.
Well, I'm not carrying gold, Wayne, just a court paper.
Worth more than gold to the man who doesn't want to hang. Clay, be careful.
Well, if I run across him, I will be. And while I'm gone, don't you get any holes in your star either.
Here, man. That's your father. I got my rights.
Stepfather. Maybe I could put up with you as long as Mother was alive, but I don't have...
If you think you're going to run off like this...
Watch me.
You traveling, Miss Worth?
As far as I can get from him and all I've known here.
I didn't expect this kind of interference from the law.
She's old enough to make her own decisions. Besides, those who know you won't think she's wrong.
All right, Smokey, line them up.
A sheriff often welcomes the chance to get out of town and away from trouble, even if he thinks he could be riding right into it. account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. From Tombstone, it was a grinding 2 days' ride to Larrabee, if the coach got through.
Would you say this is a dangerous run to Larrabee, Sheriff?
I never like to make predictions, but the stage is just full of bullet holes, Mr.
Willis, isn't he? You don't seem very concerned.
Well, we're safe enough as far as Dry Creek Station, the other side.
So I heard. I was hoping that was only a rumor.
Not entirely. We pick up a couple of guards at Dry Creek, though. Oh, Miss Worth, if you'd like to take a nap, I'm sure Mr. Clark wouldn't mind moving over.
Forget about me. Leave me be.
You're in a fine mood.
Look, when I want your opinion...
A few weeks in one of those dance halls and you won't recognize yourself. I can see that's what you want.
You make up your mind mighty fast, Mr. Clark. Maybe too fast?
I'd like to agree with the sheriff. The importance of parental guidance.
Look, will everybody please talk about something else?
You should have left her back in Tombstone. That old man of hers is probably right.
What are you, a gunfighter or just learning how?
I've learned well enough to...
Why don't you leave the lady alone, Clark? We've got a long way to go.
I agree with the sheriff. Let's be pleasant with one another. It's a long 2-day ride in this coach, and safe all the way, I hope.
As miles roll by, a coach filled with 4 people seems to grow smaller, as tempers grow shorter.
All right, Clark.
Well, what was that all about?
I warned you about him, Sheriff.
I just wanted to see how it was with the great Clay Hollister of Tombstone. I don't figure it'd be such a tough job after all.
Clark, what's got into you?
It's like sitting down next to a rattlesnake.
Oh, it's not that bad, Miss Worth. He's just a boy with a lot of curiosity.
Boy.
He'll learn that guns aren't to be played with.
Look, if you think I don't know how...
If he lives that long.
I don't like the look of this country.
Wait till he gets on the other side of Dry Creek.
Well, we're on schedule anyway. There's Silver Gulch.
Sounds like money. Somebody strike it rich at Silver Gulch.
You've got to have a sort of special sense of humor for a lot of things around here. A party of people ran into some Indians years back. Their bones turned sort of silver. Got that name.
Well, what do we got to worry about? We got the great Clay Hollister with us, guns and all. Why, just one look at him and a real bad man at hightail for the hills. Hey, Sheriff?
I hope not. Don't like running after people to bring him back. Takes a lot of time, saddle leather.
Sheriff, I'm a trifle curious about this trip you're making to Larrabee. Not that I know anything about law enforcement, really, but... Well, I did happen to overhear something said to you back in Tombstone about a court paper you're carrying. Something about a murder case.
Well, I see no reason to be mysterious about it since we're all so friendly like this. A man by the name of Rowan's under indictment for killing in Larrabee. He's out on bond. I'm carrying a key ruling from the circuit judge. Matter of life and death. Not mine, I'm pleased to say.
It's very interesting. This Rowan a man you know?
No.
You ever seen him?
No, not even that. I can't recall meeting you, Mr. Clark, in Tombstone.
Just passing through. Not my kind of territory there. But Larrabee might be just the place for folks like me and Miss Worth here.
On an overland trip, passengers get to know each other real well, whether they want to or not.
Well, a girl like you run away from home and all shouldn't be crying.
Whatever gave you that idea?
So you're not crying. You sure don't seem to be very happy about getting out of Tombstone.
I think you're so darn smart.
Well, if there's anything I said...
I think you could bother me, somebody like you.
I guess not. Anyhow, I just want you to know that what I said, well, I'm sorry.
Mr. Clark, if I were you, I wouldn't annoy Miss Worth.
What are you talking about?
It's obvious she doesn't care to talk to you.
Stow it. Stow it.
Oh, I don't think he meant...
Another little family quarrel? When I thought we were settling down.
Mr. Clark had impressed me in his own way, of course, of being a really tough sort of man. Now I see he has a gentler side.
Ah, stow it. I was just fooling around a little to pass the time. Well, what are you staring at, lawman? I might as well tell you I don't think I can stay cooped up in here with that high-toned big man look of yours all the way to Larrabee.
Now, Mr. Clark, I didn't mean to start all this.
Why should anything be happening here?
I don't know. Might be a roadblock up there. Take it easy with that gun till we find out.
Yes, if we just keep calm.
Rock slide, Sheriff. Nearly spilled all of us.
You might as well stay inside, Miss Worth. There's not much you can do out here.
I think we can get through now.
All right, Smokey.
Driver, I'd like to wash my hands.
I think we can spare a little water.
May I help you, Miss Worth?
Thank you.
The exercise feels good.
Not my kind.
Not bad.
What do you mean, not bad?
Well, if that stump had been a man who knew his business, you'd have had a bullet in you just about the time you made your first move.
That wasn't my best.
No. Now, you're working under a handicap. I don't figure you've killed your first man or done anything really wrong yet.
Maybe. When I get me a real big man.
Come on, Sheriff, we've lost enough time.
The night of July 8, 1885.
This is the ladies.
That's mine.
All right.
Drink of your finest whiskey.
Those are two men that are going to ride our guard?
Never seen that pair before. Our two men better be here by morning, Sheriff Hollister.
Yeah.
Hollister? Not Sheriff Clay Hollister, the big man from Tombstone.
Hey, couldn't be. Way out here so far from his protection.
Those two horses out in front, are they yours?
You asking questions, lawboy? I don't see any warrant. You?
No deputies either. The sheriff's acting pretty bold, I'd say.
You worked them mighty hard today. They haven't been watered yet.
Is that right? Did you hear what the sheriff says?
My.
Well, I'll tell you, Sheriff, there ain't much help on the station here. Only the agent there. And he's taking care of us, so, suppose you take 4 bits and do the job yourself.
Can we share a room, Sheriff, if it's all right with you?
Sure.
I'd say they'd make a nice pair, wouldn't you?
Just lovely.
You see any answers up there?
Am I looking for some?
Maybe. You still think you did the right thing in running away from home?
I had no choice. I had to leave.
I left home when I was 13. It's a funny thing about running. Once you start, it's hard to stop.
Do you want to?
To stop?
Yes.
I don't know.
Dinner's ready. If you're hungry.
May I?
Here, I'll help you. And, then we all better turn in. We'll be making an early start in the morning.
All right. I thought I might go out and, get some air.
Well, don't wander. You still haven't watered your horses.
Horses.
I thought you were going to take care of that, Sheriff. Oh, take care of these while you're at it, will you? Nice and neat.
The sheriff's a fine little housewife, I'd say.
Sorry about those plates. Put them on my bill. Take care of these. And have them gone by sunup. Well, I'll go water their horses.
You fools.
The morning of July 9, 1885. A day's ride from Tombstone. A day's ride to Larrabee lay ahead.
Guards didn't get here. Bushwhacked, you figure?
Maybe. Can't wait now. Too bad. We might need them guards.
Think so?
I got a bad feeling this morning. We've had some mean holdups on this run. No witnesses. Anybody rather I'd get to Larrabee with a dead sheriff instead of a live one?
Could be.
You want to lay over here?
Mr. Clark. Allow me to remind you of a couple of things before we head on for Larrabee.
Hurry up, folks. We haven't got all day.
All right, go ahead. Say we're reaching the bad stretch now, Sheriff?
Just about.
So it's just something that we could do.
There is.
What's that?
Relax. Hope for the best.
Jim, I don't understand.
Don't understand what?
The way you were with me last night, I thought...
That was last night.
You can change this way?
Anne, forget it. Forget it.
Is that all you can say?
That's all I can say.
The dusty afternoon wore on. A rambling stage, edgy nerves, 3 hours from Larrabee.
Whoa! Whoa, boy.
What's this?
You're kind of far from Larrabee.
Too far, maybe.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't like the look of things.
Well, you must have been over this run 100 times.
But not with the feeling I got today. And no guards.
What is this, superstition?
Not altogether. Just seen some riders making the Rock Canyon cutoff. Maybe all right. Maybe.
So, other men travel this country?
You sure surprised me, Mr. Willis.
Why so?
Calmer all the time.
Look, Mr. Willis, maybe we better...
You, the gunfighter?
It's up to you, folks. We can turn back now or see what happens if we barrel on through.
Well, my business in Larrabee won't wait. I'm meeting these mining people.
Miss Worth?
It can't make any difference to me now.
You, Mr. Clark?
Run out the string. Don't matter to me.
Well, there's your vote. Larrabee. Miles will tell the story.
Well, it doesn't have to happen. I mean, there's nothing inevitable.
Man gets a feeling.
Being a law officer?
You got it too, Mr. Willis. Stronger than I have for some reason. I'll have to ask if you're armed. How about you?
Well, I've got this little derringer, although I'm not sure what I could do with it in an emergency.
We may find out.
Keep those hands high.
Stay here. No matter what happens, stay right here.
Drop those guns.
You didn't take any chances on this job, did you?
Shut up, law boy. Tell your lady friend to get out.
She's just a girl. She don't matter.
Who says she don't?
He's right. You don't have to bother her.
Oh, this is going to be easier than I thought. Oh, let's keep it nice and clean. We don't want to leave anybody behind that's going to give us any trouble. That means you first of all, law boy. So step out here. Come on. A little further.
I got you two covered. Hold everything right there.
You had to kill him, huh, Willis?
Yes, Sheriff, I did. You see, my name isn't Willis. I haven't really introduced myself. I'm Rowan. A man they'd hang if you got that court paper to Larrabee.
That derringer suddenly grew.
Well, like I said, in an emergency. But I've got one more surprise for you. All right, Clark. Just like I promised. You get your first real big man.
He ain't armed.
Who's ever going to know what happens here?
Rowan, you might not be quite as big, but I'd rather start with you.
Stay just like you are, boy. Not quite sure of yourself. Stay away from killing your first man. You'll turn out just fine. Matter of fact, why don't you two just kind of stay together? That'd make it easier for both of you. Last trip to Larrabee and he knew it. Get around back. Clark, get some luggage rope and tie up our friend from the Dry Creek station.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and by the way, may not be much of a killer, but can you drive a stage? We still got to get to Larrabee.
Yes, sir.
Got a surprise for you, Rowan. The decision of the circuit judge. Evidence against Rowan not sufficient for indictment. Now, of course, you've written your own death warrant.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
His job seriously, and he was in no mood to entertain out-of-town callers.
I don't care if this man Ferguson is the president's representative. I can't talk to him now. I'm sorry, Harold. All right. I'll tell him.
Here he comes. Watch him, Joe. He's got 4 arms and a gun in each hand.
It still only takes 1 slug to kill him.
Out with your hands up.
Joe, you ain't giving up without a fight after coming here to get him.
So that's Clay Hollister.
Yes. Excuse me. I'll be right back.
Looking for me, Joe?
Not anymore.
Who told you to kill me, Big Brother Ed?
Good work, Sheriff.
All right, let's get you to jail and have the doc take a look at that arm.
Sorry, Sheriff. I guess I spoke to you at the wrong time. I'm Ferguson from Washington.
Yeah, I know. Editor Clyburn told me you wanted to talk to me.
That's right.
You almost lost your chance.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Mid-morning in Tombstone, October 16, 1882. There had already been one arrest, a near killing, and the Conference on Crime was in session.
So, President Arthur sent me out here to investigate your mounting crime and lawlessness. He feels that Tombstone is a blot upon the entire country. Your Boot Hill is proof enough of that.
Mr. Ferguson, wherever there's sudden wealth, there's always sudden death, whether it be a diamond strike in Africa or a silver strike in Arizona.
What's your opinion, Clyburn?
There's crime and lawlessness in Tombstone, yes. That's in the nature of a boom town. But most important, our law has never lost the upper hand.
Then why should any newspaper send me all the way from New York to do stories about Tombstone? Gentlemen, you know this is one of the most notorious towns in the West.
Hope you're not expecting too much, Miss Blythe. You could be disappointed.
Oh, I'll get my stories.
Good newspaper woman, Clay. Those were fine stories you sent up last spring from Panama about the digging of the canal.
Thank you. I think this investigation will make good copy, too.
Please understand, the president merely wants to offer his help if you need it.
Law's getting control.
How about your Apaches? You don't seem to have them under control.
They're more a matter for the military. General Crook and the cavalry, although we do work hand in hand.
The famous General Crook?
He'd be more famous if he could catch Geronimo.
They're very interested in reading about the Apache wars back east.
Yeah, we'd rather read about them, too.
Been wanting to interview the general. Just can't seem to get down to Fort Huachuca at the same time he's there.
That's where General Crook is now?
Or somewhere in the mountains. Pretty treacherous country.
Elizabeth Blythe had come to Tombstone for a story, and she was determined to get it. She rode out toward Fort Huachuca and the dangers of outlaw country.
Where's that lady going, do you know?
Fort Huachuca. Try to find General Crook.
Fort Huachuca. I'm Ferguson, special investigator for the president. Get me a horse, will you? I'd like to see if I can head her off.
Why, yes, sure. I got one already.
Thanks. Thank you. Would you give this message to the telegraph operator? I'd like Fort Huachuca to send a cavalry guard to meet Miss Blythe on the road.
I sure will.
Elizabeth Blythe continued her ride toward Fort Huachuca, unaware that the president's investigator was riding out after her, or that one of the Chandler gang was also riding hard out of Tombstone.
Open up, Ed.
Ed, I got news for you.
Sheriff's dead, huh?
No. The sheriff got Joe in the arm, threw him in jail.
Jail? You stood around like a bum on a log?
Lad, there weren't a thing I could do then. Ed, wait a minute. Don't you want to hear the news?
What news?
About that galoot from Washington.
What about him?
He was sent here by the president to keep an eye on Tombstone. He's headed this way right now, chasing after some gal newspaper reporter from New York.
Yeah. I like that.
Clay!
Yeah?
Ferguson and Miss Blythe are gone.
Oh, back east?
No such luck. They both rode out toward Fort Huachuca. Great. The Chandler gang had a plan to intercept the two riders on their way to Fort Huachuca. Clay Hollister sensed trouble and rode against time.
That was a very foolish thing to do, Miss Blythe. You should have told us your plans.
Well, I'm not that foolish. If I were, I couldn't have left Tombstone. I'm going on to get my story from General Crook.
What's this all about?
The boss got lonesome, wants company.
I don't think he'll want mine. Do you know who I am?
That's the reason he wants to see you. The young lady there may get a good story.
It'll be about you.
Oh, no.
Here for me. Howdy, Mr. Hollister. Where are you headed for?
I'm looking for a girl newspaper reporter and a man who set out to find her.
So are we. He wired the fort to send a guard out to meet him.
Well, I can't understand how you missed him.
Me either. Hope nothing's wrong.
Look, Corporal, take your men up through the Huachucas on the way back. I'll ride through the whetstones.
Glad to, Hollister.
And, if you find out anything, wire my deputy in Tombstone.
Right. Hello.
Step up. Good of you to drop by, mister. You too, miss.
You'll be doing some dropping yourself. From a scaffold.
That's big talk, mister. From an hombre in your fix.
He has every right to talk big. He's speaking for the United States government.
I know. Sent by the president. That's why I brought him here. I have a small favor to ask of a big man.
What's that?
My brother's in jail in Tombstone. The sheriff shot him. You're going back and release him.
Your brother's in no condition to travel, Chandler.
He'll make it.
I refuse.
Mister, you're in no position to refuse anything.
We'd better go back to Tombstone and do as he asks.
Not you, miss. You're staying here till my brother shows up.
I'm not leaving here without Miss Blythe.
Are you ready to go back to Tombstone?
Without Miss Blythe? No.
Clears, you've got to do as they say.
I want my brother here within 6 hours. And tell Hollister that if he makes one move that looks like a double cross, we clear out for Mexico. With the little lady.
In that case, I guess I have no choice.
Put the blindfold back on him. Take him back where you picked him up. Then he's on his own.
Together. What's up?
Ferguson and that girl, Miss Blythe, disappeared somewhere between here and the fort.
How many do we need?
All we can get.
Ferguson.
Where's Miss Blythe?
She's with the brother of the man you shot and arrested. His men picked us up. He's holding her prisoner.
Ed Chandler. Sit down. How did you get away?
I'm supposed to tell you to release his brother and get him back to Chandler within 6 hours. Or they take Miss Blythe to Mexico. We've got less than 3 hours to get his brother back there.
Back where?
That, I don't know.
The afternoon of October 16, 1882. The investigator of crime in Tombstone had found some. And had found himself right in the middle of it.
I've been trying to get something on the Chandlers. They're suspected of murder, rustling, smuggling, armed robbery. Everything in the book.
I'll get the men to follow Joe. Maybe we can find him that way.
Never mind the posse. Ed'd just skip over the border with the girl. Feel like taking a ride?
Depends on where to.
Back to your brother. I'm turning you loose.
Oh? What's the joker?
Seems like a good idea.
Afraid Ed'll come with the boys and blast the town, huh?
Maybe.
Or maybe you think you're gonna follow me and find Ed, huh?
I'm not gonna follow you. I'm gonna take you.
All right. There's nothing I'd like more than getting you within range of Ed's guns.
Quint, I'm gonna take your horse. Mine's tired out.
Sure, Clay.
And don't let anybody follow us.
We won't. But if you're not back by tomorrow, the whole town will go out after you.
We'll be back.
And don't let anything happen to that on the way, or Miss Blythe is a gunner.
Yeah. First you have to shoot him, and you have to keep him alive.
The
The life of Elizabeth Blythe depended on delivering Joe Chandler before the 3-hour deadline had passed. Chandler grew weaker, and the ride was slow. Time was running out.
Hold it. Well, I'm glad to see you're so full of fight. Afraid I was going to lose you before you led me to your brother.
You smart up, lawman. Go on back. You don't know what you're walking into.
Mount up.
I guess we better get ready to ride. Looks like Joe isn't going to show up. You'll find lots of things to write about in Mexico, miss.
Chandler! Send the girl out, I'll turn your brother loose.
No! Turn Joe loose, then I'll let the girl go.
I'm calling this.
How do I know you'll let him go?
She walks to me slowly, he walks to you slowly. And I'll have him covered every step of the way.
You'll shoot him.
Unless I have to. Give me the girl, there won't be any shooting, this time.
All right. Did you get Hollister when you had the chance?
You were just too fast for me.
Well, he's not too fast for me. We'll get him now.
I helped start all this. I'm sorry.
Stay down. Here, make yourself useful.
Keep him pinned down. I'll go get him from the back.
Clearing out of here and fast.
Hey, you're not running out on me when I'm hurt. It'll blast you.
Ed's dead, and you know it.
He ain't dead. He'll be back. He just gunned down Hollister. I know he did.
Then where is he? You wait for him.
Still a couple left in the house.
Come on out, Joe. You haven't got a chance. Men are gone, your brother's dead.
You're lying! He ain't dead!
You're all alone, Joe. Come on out.
How are you at writing obituaries? Going back to jail, Joe.
How long did it take you to run down Pete and the other one?
Wore out 2 horses, but that takes care of the Chandler outfit. I won't need keys to keep the ones up on Boot Hill out of trouble.
You don't like your job, Sheriff.
I don't like killing.
Hollister, I came out here to report on the crime wave in Tombstone.
Yes, and when you interrupted an arrest to tell me that, Joe Chandler almost killed me.
I'm going to report that there is crime, a lot of it. But it's being held in check.
I'll second that.
My recommendation will be absolutely no interference by federal authorities. And you know how I'm going to back that up?
How?
By leaving for Washington myself on the first stage.
Mr. Ferguson, have a good, safe trip.
Thank you.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. November 29, 1883. Whenever Doc Cunningham broke into a run, it was certain to be a matter of life or death.
Clay, Tom Belden's been shot.
Where is he? How bad's he hurt?
Cottonwood Canyon Trail. Well, he's in bad shape. The payroll money for the ranch is gone, too.
That figures. Why didn't you bring him in?
He's hurt too bad. He must have laid there all night. Miss Belden told me to go out looking for him.
All right. Quint, you keep an eye on things around here.
All right, Clay.
Doc, you and Riker get a buckboard. We'll need it to bring Tom in.
You don't mind if the epitaph rides along?
Not if it rides fast.
The morning of November 29, 1883. Tom Belden's assailant had done his work well.
He's dead.
You said he was conscious briefly when you found him. Did he say anything?
He could hardly talk. All he said was, masked man, rode a sorrel horse.
How much would the ranch payroll amount to?
I guess it tallied out to around $1,500.
Let's get him on the wagon. Hey, Doc. Got any plaster of Paris in the bag?
Why, yeah, I guess so. I got a pound or so.
Thanks.
What are you going to do with that?
The man that shot Belden was riding a lame horse. Take a look at that hoof print. Wasn't made by Belden's horse. You notice anything odd about it?
Yeah, one hole seems to have a nail missing.
That's right. Left front hoof. The horse was favoring it. Print isn't as deep as the others.
I still don't see what that's got to do with plaster of Paris.
I'll show you. You're about to witness the latest wrinkle in detection as practiced by the French Sûreté.
The what?
I read about it in Leslie's Monthly. It's called moulage, making plaster casts out of footprints and other things.
How much longer do you think it'll be?
Should be ready pretty quick now.
Say, Clay, do you think that Belden could have been killed by his foreman?
Ben Riker?
He's got a bad record, you know.
I know.
The business of him coming in for the dock and guiding us back here.
I'll talk to him. Perfect. Look at that. Every detail sharp and clear. You can even see that little triangular gouge in the frog of the hoof. Yeah. Come on, let's get back to town.
I want you to know, Sheriff, I don't hold no hard feelings. On account of you might have figured that I bushwhacked the boss. What with my background.
I have to check all the angles, Riker.
I know that. And I reckon it looked as though I could have done it. I liked my boss. I'd give my right arm from here on out to see the snake that killed him dangling at the end of a rope.
Maybe you will.
Well, if you want me, you know where to find me.
Don't worry. If I want you, I'll find you.
Gentry.
Hello, Sheriff.
Obliged if you take a look at this for me.
Sure, what is it?
Plaster cast of a hoof print.
Well, so it is.
You ever seen that shoe before?
Would it matter if I have or haven't?
Might make the difference in whether or not I catch the man that killed Tom Belden.
Tom Belden of the Box B?
That's right. Mean anything to you?
Being a law-abiding citizen, Sheriff, I want to tell the truth. But if I do, I'm as good as accusing a man of murder.
Then you do recognize it.
I put that shoe on Asa Sibley's horse just a couple of days ago.
Are you sure it's the same one?
You see that missing nail?
Huh?
I left it out of purpose. Sibley's horse had a corn in his hoof. That nail would have gone right into it. I left it out to give the corn a chance to heal.
Well, couldn't it be some other shoe that just happened to be missing a nail?
Ain't a blacksmith around worth his salt that can't tell every shoe he ever made. By the shapings of it, even the hammer markings. That's my shoe, and I put it on Asa Sibley's horse.
Thanks.
Welcome.
That's a real nice chestnut. You figure the owner might want to sell?
No, I don't figure so. I'm the owner.
I can't say as I blame you.
I can do without visitors.
You always greet him with a rifle, Sibley?
All the friends I ever had stole me blind sooner or later.
I'm not in what you could call a friendly mood. I'm Clay Hollister, sheriff of Tombstone. I'm here on business.
What business?
Tom Belden was killed yesterday afternoon. Hoof prints at the scene of the shooting could have been made by your horse.
Well, that's a lie. I ain't been out of this place in 2 days.
Can you prove it?
No. I live by myself.
2 days, huh? Is that when you took your horse in to be shod?
Well, what if it was?
Gantry shod your horse with the shoe that made the incriminating print.
He said that? Then he's a liar. And you're a liar. You're out to get me, the lot of you. Sheriff?
Put down the gun, Sibley.
Now you get back on that horse and get out of here. I ain't done nothing. Now you get.
You're calling it.
don't like it. But if you have to have it the hard way, I'll oblige.
You let go. You let go of me. Hey! What? You have no right. I'll get even with you, sir. Huh?
Suppose it makes no difference to you that you got the wrong man.
Maybe the wrong man, but it looks like you own the right horse.
Sheriff. What'd you have to do, kill him?
No, it turned out he was the wrong man.
Wrong man. But that plaster cast showed a nail missing from the shoe.
Yeah? We made a mistake. Sibley's horse does have a nail missing from one shoe, but the shoe itself doesn't match the cast. Thanks for your help anyway.
Yeah.
You wanted to see me, Gantry?
Likely to be the other way around, if you hear what I've got to say.
About what?
About who killed Belden?
What do you mean?
I mean, I know who killed Belden. So does Hollister, only he's not doing anything about it.
How do you know all about this?
Hollister was here with a plaster cast of the hoof print of the horse the murderer was riding. I know who owned that horse. I told Hollister, and he went out to see the man. He came back alone, though.
Who was it?
The horse belonged to Asa Sibley.
I'm going to go out there and kill him myself.
No, Riker. That's not the way. You'll just wind up on the end of a rope. Now, Belden had a lot of friends, and they'll feel like we do once we tell them about it.
Gantry and Ben Riker are spreading lynch talk against Sibley all over town.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, what's worse, they're getting plenty of listeners. I don't like it.
I don't either, so I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to put Sibley under protective custody. I'll feel better with him in a cell instead of out on that sage patch of his.
He's a funny old duck. What if he won't cooperate?
He will. I think he's had his belly full of not cooperating.
The afternoon of November 29, 1883. Asa Sibley had no mind or stomach for one of Tombstone's jail cells. But whether by recollection of the sheriff's fists or by the persuasiveness of his arguments, the sodbuster finally gave in.
Looks like I win again. You want to play for a penny a point?
Oh, thank you. Can't have the deputy making more money than the sheriff. Hey, were you ever a dealer? A crooked one, maybe?
They tell me you got that murdering Sibley in jail here.
Yeah, Sibley's here.
Well, then you changed your mind? You're going to make him pay for killing the boss?
No, Riker, Sibley didn't do it. He's innocent.
But you and Gantry have been spreading lynch talk. And I'm taking no chances on mob action.
Well, you got a lot of gall to stand there and tell me you're protecting him.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, what about Tom Belden?
You just take it easy, boy.
Take it easy? Hollister, you know what Tom Belden did for me? You know what I was when he took me on as a hand?
Yeah, Tom was a good judge of horses, cattle, and men. He made no mistake on you, Ben. Don't you make a mistake now.
Well, I ain't gonna wait for no lynch mob.
I'll just keep this for you until you cool down. Quint, See that he stays out of trouble.
On the surface, Tombstone was calm, but in the saloons and gambling halls, there was ferment. Gantry and Riker had done their job well. The situation was explosive, and all it needed now was a spark to set it off.
Harris.
Oh, morning, Clay.
I want you to do something for me.
What is it?
I want you to go down to Gantry's blacksmith shop and get him up here to the printing plant on some pretext. And keep him here as long as you can.
Gantry, what for?
Because he was wrong about that hoof print belonging to Sibley's horse. He was wrong or he lied. There's only one logical reason for him to lie. To cover himself. Besides, there's something else. Gantry owns a chestnut horse. To a dying man, that could look the same color as sorrow. Well, how about it? Will you do it for me?
When?
Right now. You give me about, 5 minutes head start and go into your act. Tell Gantry that, tell him that the press broke down. You need him to repair it.
All right. But you just remember, that Gantry is about twice as big as I am. That makes me a prime candidate for Doc Cunningham. Or for Jake Riddle, the Undertaker.
Well, Harris, I have complete confidence in you.
Well, I wish I could say the same.
Owen, if there's any trouble, you stay out of it.
Afternoon.
Howdy.
Gantry, I've got myself in something of a fix. I wonder if you could help me out.
Well, none of us right now, I can't.
Oh, listen, man, I got a copy of the newspaper to get out today. And the bed of that press won't seem to move one way or another. One of the rollers is either jammed or cracked.
Well, I'd like to help you, but I got to get this wheel out.
Well, it won't take you but a minute, Gantry. To look at it, if it looks like too big a job, you can just forget about it.
Well, I guess I can spare a minute.
Well, I'm sure much obliged to you. I don't like to miss an edition if I don't have to.
Gears, bed bears, nothing. Say, you haven't been stalling me, just trying to keep me here, have you?
Of course not. Why would I do a thing like that?
I don't know, but if it turns out you have, I'll come back to take things apart, not to fix them. Looking for something, Hollister?
I'm looking for something.
What?
Money you stole from Belden after you killed him.
What are you talking about? You know Asa Sibley killed Belden.
No, Gantry. When Sibley brought a lame horse into you, and you left a nail out of its shoe, you saw a golden opportunity to pull a job that you'd been thinking about for a long time.
Oh, I'll talk. I ain't gonna listen to it.
Tom Belden paid his hands off like clockwork. He came to the bank a certain day of every month, certain hour of the day. Your job on Sibley's horse coincided. So you fixed up a shoe on your own horse, missing a nail, and went out to waylay Belden. He was right on time, as usual.
You said the murderer's horse was lame. My horse ain't lame.
No, not now. You were smarter there than I gave you credit for, Gantry. How'd you fake it? With a wedge pressing into the frog or a piece of wire around the ankle?
You can't prove a thing.
Yes, I can. The moulage I made doesn't match the shoe on your horse now because you got panicky and put on a new one. But the cast does show a little triangular gouge your horse has in the frog of his hoof. And I found that horseshoe, the one you tried to destroy.
Drop your gun bell, lawman.
That the gun that killed Tom Belden? You better think twice about this, Gantry. Gunshot in here will bring a crowd running. How do you explain it?
I'm going to shoot you in the back, Hollister. Then I can say it was a mistake. I saw you in here and thought you were a thief. Now turn around.
He had Belden's money on him all the time. Where were you, Harris? Could have used a little help. I try to keep those jail cells clean and ship-shape, but they're no substitute for home, huh, Sibley?
Well, thanks for all you've done for me, Sheriff.
Sibley, I came pretty close to making a jackass out of myself, or worse.
Well, whatever you done it for Belden.
No, listen, a man lives lonely and solitary like you do. Well, it ain't right for a man to live that way, and, well, there's other places he could be useful.
Are you offering me a job, Riker?
Well, now, don't go thinking it's charity, because it ain't.
Well, I'll think about it.
You do that.
Well, if anyone needs proof that the age of miracles isn't past, there it is.
Yeah, they are kind of an unlikely pair. This goes to show you never can tell. Say, Harris, how about a game of cribbage?
Sheriff, now you are in trouble.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Had become almost commonplace in the West. Men were shot down, robberies committed, and bands of marauders and renegades roamed the small frontier towns, looting, burning, and plundering. And when the bandits were captured, they were often turned loose because witnesses feared to come forward. This made the lawman's job, the job of keeping law and order in the community, almost impossible. Tombstone, Arizona Territory, October 20, 1880, early morning.
My leg, help me. Help me. I can't make it. My leg.
Help him. I'd be glad to help him.
Chalky! Chalky! You murdered my brother. You dirty, filthy...
What happened?
Well? Didn't anybody see anything?
This one's still alive, Clay.
Barney Dager. And Brother Chalky. This is really going to be rough on their sister. Give me a hand.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Clay Hollister, sheriff of Tombstone, had gone in pursuit of the gang that had robbed the saloon, killed the owner, and left two of their own members behind, one dead and one dying. The gang had vanished, and the witnesses to the crime refused to come forward to identify the killers. Later the same day, mid-morning, October 20.
Whoa! I'm Sherry Dager. My brothers, where are they?
Chalky's dead. Barney's in the cell in the back. Doc Cunningham's with him right now. Wait here. I'll see if it's all right. Is he well enough to see his sister? Miss Dager?
Barney.
How is he, Doc?
Bad. He's ready to be a undertaker's guest now.
Will you do me a favor?
Anything you say, Clay.
Keep Chalky's condition under your hat.
Be careful it doesn't explode in your face. I don't know what you got planned, but don't count on Barney. He won't be around that long. I'm sorry I had to hear that, Miss Dager. Real sorry.
I'm sorry, too. If there's anything I can do to make it easier for you,
You can let me take him home where he belongs. I don't want him to die in jail.
Barney's a member of a gang who robbed and killed the saloon keeper this morning.
And he's paying for it with his life. First Chalky and now Barney. Let me take him home, please.
I'm sorry, Miss Dager. I can't do that.
Why? What difference does it make if he dies here or at home?
Might make a lot of difference.
To who? You?
Yes, to me. And to you, and maybe the whole rest of the town.
I don't care about the rest of the town. I only care about Barney.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. Nobody around here cares about anybody else. And people get shot down in the street every day because of that. Well, maybe Barney can help me put an end to it.
Barney?
He owes something to the territory. Let him pay his debt.
He's dying. You talk like this?
When a man helps to commit murder and robbery, it makes him a criminal. It's my business to understand that. It's your business, too.
Barney's not a criminal. He's young. So is Chalky. They made their mistakes, but they didn't mean anything. They would have straightened out.
Yeah? Well, tell that to the saloon keeper.
He was a gambler. He was as bad as the others. A man who took advantage of drunks and fools.
But he was a man with as much right to live as anybody else. Barney and Chalky helped to take that right away from him. Look, Miss Dager, you can't excuse some people and not others. If you do, the law becomes meaningless.
If it treats everybody the same, it is meaningless. And if you think that way, too, you're meaningless. You're just an empty shell of a man standing on a mountaintop. Well, I hope it gets lonely there.
You ever stand all alone on a mountaintop, Quint?
Sometimes that's the only place where a man can think. Yeah, I've been there.
I think I'll go over to the Epitaph and see Harris. Keep an eye on things, will you? Keep everybody away from him.
Including his sister?
She isn't everybody.
Fastest issue of the Epitaph I ever got out. Thanks to you, I don't get to sell a single copy.
Just so long as the story sells. And I think our buyer just got here.
Who is he?
I think he's a member of the gang. If he is, he'll be a direct line to the others.
You planning on following him? I mean, going after them?
Oh, Harris, I haven't got any proof. Besides, after that article, I think they'll be looking for me and Barney. And I'd rather have them here than me there.
Yeah. Judging from the looks of him, I don't blame you.
think you sold your story.
You and your fancy knife throwing. Maybe you need a little more practice.
I hear what I am, Paul.
Yeah? Barney's recovering. He's going to identify us. It's all over the front page of the paper. Never leave a wounded man behind to testify, he says. Too bad you didn't use the knife on Barney, too. Go ahead.
No. When the odds change, I stop playing. Now, let's talk about Barney Dager and his sister Sherry.
Killing a woman is where I draw the line.
Killing? Who said anything about killing? There's some people who are far more useful alive. Miss Dager's one of them. And this editor fellow might very well be another. I'm quite sure he's a pillar of Tombstone society.
You touch the editor and you're a dead man. Hollister will come after you.
Exactly, but he'll have Barney with him. Now, if the editor means so much to Hollister and to the town, I'm quite sure they'd be very glad to exchange Barney for him.
Yeah, well, how are we going to get the editor to come here?
We'll persuade him one way or the other. And then we have to pay a little visit to Miss Dager. She has to persuade Hollister to exchange Barney for the editor, or we kill the editor. Of course, unfortunately for him, he'll be dead as soon as it's all over. But then, so will Barney. Then there'll be nobody left who will dare offer to testify against Dirk Verdella again.
Yeah. Mr. Cliven?
Yeah?
Now listen carefully. There's a gun trained on you across the street. Take your time. Turn around slow. And look up toward the roof of that building. There's two more besides that one on the street. Mine and another one near Dunbar Stable.
What do you want?
He'll be covered all the way. Go to Dunbar's, pick up your horse, and ride out of town. Past Fremont first, and wait. And don't look for help from your friend Hollister. We waited for him to make his afternoon rounds. He's on the other side of town.
And you came to my ranch to tell me that?
I thought it was easier than having you visit me where you might be followed.
And if I don't persuade Clay Hollister to make the exchange?
Then Barney will probably die. Oh, no, I won't kill him. I like Barney. He's a good man. But if he stays in jail, state's witness or not, he'll undoubtedly swing for the murder of the saloon keeper.
I don't believe you.
That's your privilege. There's one other thing. If the exchange isn't effected within 24 hours, your esteemed editor is going to be dead. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Don't do it. He's lying. They'll kill me anyway.
Now, I presume that you'll talk to Hollister?
October 20, 1885. A long day. And a day Sheriff Clay Hollister and the citizens of Tombstone would never forget.
He isn't anywhere in town, Clay. I've looked everywhere. If you were going somewhere, he would have told somebody. Left somebody in charge of the office. He usually does. Where you going?
Over to Dunbar's. He was going to leave town. He had to go by horse or buggy. Maybe they know something about it.
I've got to talk to you.
All right, go ahead, talk.
Not here. Oh, please, Sheriff. It's about Barney and the editor.
All right. You said you wanted to talk about Barney and the editor?
They're holding the editor hostage.
Who? Who's holding him?
The men in the gang that Barney and Chalky belong to.
Where are they now?
I don't know. They came to my ranch. They had Mr. Clybourne with them. They said that if you didn't exchange him with Barney, they'd kill the editor.
What is it all they said?
No. They said that if Barney stayed in jail, he'd hang for the murder of the saloon keeper.
Is that why you've come here?
I saw what they did to the editor. They beat him, but he's still alive, and I think he will be until they're through with him. I remembered what you said this morning about nobody caring about anyone else. And I suddenly realized you were right. I was wrong. Barney and Chalky were wrong. And now an innocent man is suffering because of it.
And that's why you came here?
Yes.
All right. You tell him I'll make the exchange, but on my terms. I'll have Barney at Chalky's funeral at Boot Hill Cemetery tomorrow. Tell him to have the editor there. That's where I'll make the exchange. Now I think you better see Barney.
Boot Hill, huh? Yeah, we'll be there with the editor. You know, he almost came back last night to see you, but decided against it. My friends are afraid of ghosts in the dark. We decided it'd be better in the daylight where we can see as well as being seen. And for once, I'm very glad I agreed with them. You look much better dressed like that. Softer and sleepy. I like it.
Thank you.
I shall be seeing you again.
I'll be looking forward to it. This morning. Boot Hill.
That's right. I'll be there. We'll all be there at poor Chalky's funeral. Good day, ma'am.
Hardly seems right somehow. Going to a funeral to pay your respects to the dead, wearing guns. Well, those guns keep a lot of people from paying their respects to you. I guess that's about it. You ready? Yep. Let's go.
It's a trick. Barney ain't with him. Where'd you expect him to be? Dancing a jig in the streets? It's his brother's funeral. Barney's where he should be, in the buggy with his sister. Untie his hands. Take the gag out. We wouldn't want Hollister to think we've been mistreating his friends, would we?
Wait here.
Don't see Barney.
He's here, just like I promised you.
In the buggy?
No, in the hearse. Barney's dead.
Harris. Broken. Too bad. Clear. Havana tobacco. Rolled especially. For me.
You could have lied to me yesterday about Barney. I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you told me then that Barney was dead. It helped make today a lot easier. Thank you.
No, thank you. In a town just full of people depending on other people, you were the only one who offered to help. That might make it easier from now on. You know, I'm going to be thinking about you. That might make me feel a little bit less like that man standing alone on his mountaintop. Well, you sure got your faith in human nature restored fast. Stick around. A couple of years, you may be old enough to understand.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
A $20,000 shipment of bank cash destined for Tucson was being transferred from the stagecoach to the Wells Fargo safe to be held overnight.
man?
You're the sheriff.
Clay Hollister. And you're...
Liz Dalton. I just came in on the stage. I'm staying in town overnight. I'm on my way to Tucson. It's my first trip there.
Oh, it's too bad. That's Tombstone's loss. But you're welcome anyway. It's my deputy, Quint.
Hello.
If we can be of service?
You can. For one thing, I thought perhaps you might recommend a nice place for me to stay.
Oh, well, there's the Russ House just down the street. It's about the quietest place in town.
Thank you. Oh, Sheriff, do you think that I might arrange to leave these in the safe overnight?
Well, that'd have to be up to the Wells Fargo people.
I'd feel a lot safer if I could. They're quite valuable, my jewels. Most of them are family heirlooms, so naturally they mean a great deal to me.
Sounds like a good idea if it's all right with Sam. Sam? Miss Dalton here would like to use your safe.
Well, sorry, the safe's for company business only. I'm really awfully sorry, Miss Dalton. You understand how it is, company policy.
Please. I'd sleep so much better tonight if you would. Couldn't you do it as a personal favor for me?
Well, I think we can arrange it in your case, Miss Dalton. Well, the company wants to accommodate us travelers.
Thank you, Mr.
Wade, Sam Wade.
Thank you, Mr. Wade.
Come with me. Put it right there in the case. I'll check the jewels. Yes. You got a string of pearls, 2 diamond earrings, and 2 brooches, correct?
That's right.
Quint.
Quint?
Yeah. I think I can take care of things here if you want to go finish your round. You should enjoy Tucson, Miss Dalton. Of course, they haven't got anything there that we don't have right here. Maybe a little bit more of it.
I'm sure I'll like it, Sheriff. There. I feel a lot better now.
Don't close it. My name is Packard, Judd Packard. I'm sorry about that holler, but I'm carrying over $1,000 in cash here, and I certainly would like to lock it in your safe overnight, if you don't mind.
Well, you're sure doing a Russian business today, Sam.
I'll take care of you, Mr. Packard, just as soon as I give this little lady here a receipt.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory.
Well, I was just going to do that.
Well, saves you the trouble.
Thanks. Now you can move this whole...
All right. I see it.
Why, a fellow named Packard over at the Oriental wants to see you. Said he needs your help.
Packard? Oh, yeah. What did you want?
Well, he's in a big ruckus over a poker game. Looks like it could get serious.
All right.
I'm going over that way. I'll walk with you.
All right, here's the sheriff. Now he'll vouch for me.
What seems to be the trouble? He's lost all his cash. Wants to keep on playing. I want to see the money.
We're going to keep on playing, mister. You're not quitting until I've had a chance to win back.
Easy, Packard.
All right. But you tell this man I got $1,000 cash in the Wells Fargo safe.
That's right. Why didn't you just show him the receipt?
Well, I don't have it with me. It's up in my hotel room.
Is that right, Sheriff? Sure it's right, or I wouldn't say so. One more thing. No more squabbling. Keep the game quiet or it breaks up.
Oh, Sheriff.
Yeah?
You know, it might be a good idea if you stuck around for a while.
What for?
Oh, sort of keep an eye on the game. After all, man's been as lucky as Todd here. Winning steadily, hand after hand. Might just learn something.
You accuse me of cheating?
Well, you don't mind if the sheriff watches, do you?
You never can tell about people you're traveling with. Now you take me. All you know about me is that I'm a salesman, traveling in the same places as you and Judd Packard.
So?
So I'm a lot smarter than you think I am, because I found a way of making some real big money.
How?
Oh, I've got all kinds of things to sell. Like information. Do you realize there have been 2 safe robberies, big ones, in towns that we've been in?
All right. We'll cut you in. But if we get caught, there won't be anything for any of us. So let's get out of here.
Where to?
To hide this.
But I'm going with you. This afternoon, when your friend Judd Packard rented their horse at the livery stable and went riding, I followed him. So I know just where you're headed for. I'll see that you don't get lost.
You all through, Packard?
Yes, I'm through.
All right, shut up. You really wrecked this place. Now you're going to pay for it.
I'm not going to pay for something.
You want to spend some time in a Tombstone jail?
All right, I'll settle up in the morning when I get my money out.
All right. Now I suggest you head for your hotel room. The rest of you can head for home, too. This card game's over.
Wait. This is far enough. I've decided. We don't have to hide it.
But we're strangers here. The sheriff might search our rooms. Judd will come back for it in a day or so. That's the way we always work it. We'll decide on the split then.
Oh, I've already decided on the split.
What do you mean?
This one's mine. All of it.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, don't I? You think the price of freedom for Packard and you is too high? Hand it over, lady. Give it to me.
All right.
A few hours later, the same night.
Well, did everything go all right?
No, it didn't. Something went wrong, real wrong.
What do you mean? What happened?
You remember that little man that came in on the stage with us? Kept trying to make conversation?
What about him?
He followed me. He caught me red-handed. I didn't even have a chance to close the safe.
What do you mean he followed you?
Just that. He was in Lordsburg when we were. Maybe Prescott, too.
So?
So he knew. He must have seen us make the deposits. Then when the places were robbed, he put two and two together. He's been following us.
All right, all right. How much does he want?
He wanted it all.
You wanted it? Oh, you mean you settled with him?
I settled with him. I killed him. I had to do it. He never would have left us alone.
That gun was to be used as a last resort.
It was. It's done, and that's that.
Not quite. You let yourself in for a murder charge.
Not me. We. You're in this, too.
Oh, no. Not in the killing, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. You're my accomplice, and don't forget it. Because I won't ever. They won't catch us, Judd. And besides, we're rich. Very rich.
Early morning, October 10, 1882.
Morning, Miss Dalton. Sorry to waken you so early, but I've got some bad news.
About what, Sheriff?
About your jewels. The Wells Fargo safe was robbed last night. Cleaned out. Everything.
Everything. But my jewels, they're family heirlooms. They're worth a fortune.
I'm sorry, Miss Dalton. Of course, I'll do everything to recover them.
But I put them in the safe so that... Sheriff, I'm holding you personally responsible, along with the Wells Fargo company. You'll both be hearing from my attorney.
Yes, ma'am. But in the meantime, I'll need a description of the jewels, as complete as possible.
It was a string of pearls. 43 pearls in each strand, each one perfect.
Pearls 43.
There was a serial number on the clasp. 578348282.
578348282.
And there were a pair of earrings. Gold mountings. There were 5 small, perfect diamonds in each one. That's a total of 10 diamonds, Sheriff.
Your addition's as good as your memory, Miss Dalton.
And there were 2 brooches, cameos. There were dates inscribed on the back. One was March 6, 1818, and the other was August 21st, I think, 1831.
21st, 1831?
Yes, I think that's it. That's everything, Sheriff.
Thank you, Miss Dalton. You'll be hearing from me.
Anything new on the robbery?
Hmm?
I asked you. Clay,
Oh, hello, Harris.
why all the deep thought?
Thinking about Liz Dalton.
What about her?
She was in a position where she could have seen the combination to the safe when Sam Wade opened it.
You really think she did it? Then came back later and stole her own jewels?
And close to $20,000 in cash. Harris, she's got a phenomenal memory.
How do you know that?
Well, when she was itemizing the contents of her jewel case, she told me exactly how many pearls she had, the serial number on the clasp, even the dates on the back of the brooches. Wouldn't you say that was a little unusual?
Clay, one of the stage passes that rode into town yesterday is missing.
Missing?
Yeah, a man named Harry Ames. The hotel manager just told me. Thought we ought to know. He went out last night and never did come back.
All right, I'll go check it.
Sheriff Hollister, I was just on my way to see you.
You leaving town?
Yes, on the noon stage. You can contact me in Tucson at the Arizona Hotel, if and when my jewels are recovered. I'm sure you'll do everything possible to get them back for me, Sheriff. I'm sorry I was unpleasant this morning, but I was upset.
It's understandable.
Goodbye, Sheriff. I'd better leave while I still have some possessions left.
I don't envy you the ride. That's a long, hot 70 miles.
71 to be exact. Goodbye, Sheriff.
Oh, Miss Dalton.
Yes?
I'm searching everyone leaving Tombstone. No exceptions.
Don't you think that's a little ridiculous in my case, Sheriff?
No exceptions. Who should be able to understand better than you?
Help yourself, Sheriff.
Thank you. Nothing unusual, except maybe this.
Unusual, Sheriff, for a woman traveling alone.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Dalton. Sorry for the inconvenience. You can go now. Quint?
How about a game of cribbage?
No, later. I got a job for you. Yeah, what's up? You're gonna take a little trip.
Going to Tucson with you.
Official business, ma'am.
Later the same day, October 10, 1882.
You're in this deeper than I thought. First robbery, now murder.
Let's go. Leave it. I'll carry it for you. Move out.
Now, let's go. I got a telegram to send to Benson. There's no reason for Miss Dalton and my deputy to travel all those 71 miles to Tucson. She's got some unfinished business right here in Tombstone.
I don't know how anyone opens one of these blasted things with... Hello, Clay. I was just trying to figure out whether Liz Dalton will open that thing by remembering the combination or whether she did it by sound. You know, listening to the tumblers.
Why didn't you just ask? Here.
Answer your inquiry, Ray Judson Packard and Elizabeth Dalton.
They were a carnival act for years before they hit on this safe-cracking idea.
Carnival act?
Yeah, you know. Liz would look at a page of a book for a couple of seconds and then recite it word for word. Photographic memory, they call it.
Well, how did you know about Packard?
I didn't for sure. Just played a hunch. See, when Liz left town without the money, I figured somebody had to be in on it with her. And Packard went out of his way to start that wing-ding down at the Oriental at exactly the time of the robbery.
I see. So that's how she did it.
Mm-hmm. Gwen. From now on, when I'm out of the office, I want you to keep an eye on the editor here. I think he's planning on a life of crime.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Can you walk? I don't think so.
Great. A couple of shots will flush them out. Be careful and shoot high.
Careful. They're convicts.
They're on foot and they're unarmed. We don't have to push our advantage.
We better give ourselves up, Callahan. We'll never make it.
A bullet now or a noose later. I'll take my chances with a bullet. I'm coming out! Get down! Get down!
All right, McQueen, hold your fire. They're coming out. That was murder. What kind of a deputy are you, anyway?
The orders are dead or alive.
Struck him down. Well, Holden, I'll try it too.
Well, we missed him. So I shot a killer. If you haven't got the stomach for it, then go back to Sonoyta and take that desk job.
Get your hands off me. You'll hear about it when I'm ready to quit.
You better give it some thought. A lot of thought. Fast.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Tombstone, the same day, October 17, 1884. Jim Apache said you wanted me to come over as soon as I could.
Yeah, thought this would interest you.
Wanted dead or alive, Tom Holden, for a killing in the Wells Fargo robbery of April 23, 1882. Well, this is a couple of years old, I remember it. Holden was caught and convicted and sentenced to life in Yuma Penitentiary.
And 3 weeks ago, he escaped with 2 other convicts.
Oh.
And he's been wanted dead or alive again ever since, up until yesterday.
They caught him?
No, they found new evidence that he's innocent. Well, at least innocent of the killing.
I see. Well, it's quite a story, an important one. I'll wire Tucson and get all the facts and do it up right in the epitaph. Can I have this?
Sure. Where you going?
To send that telegram and get back to work. I'm up to my ears.
Harris. You gonna leave with half the story? They haven't caught him yet. There are 2 men following him. As far as they're concerned, he's still a killer.
And they'll take him any way they can.
Right.
Who's this Eli Parsons?
Oh, he's the sheriff of Sonoyta. The man with him is probably his deputy. They've tracked him as far as Cochise County, Mule Mountain area. Well?
Well, what?
Ready in, say, 15 minutes?
Make it 10.
All right. Oh, you know, I ought to get a year's free subscription to the Epitaph for this.
How do you figure that?
Well, it's the 3rd exclusive I've given you this year. 10 minutes.
A few hours later, near the foothills of the Mule Mountains.
Stay down, Harris. Don't worry. Get your hands up, both of you. Now walk over and keep your hands high.
Take it easy, mister.
I said get your hands up.
What's the trouble here? Your boy. I'm Clay Hollister, sheriff of Tombstone.
Hollister, of course.
This is Harris Clyburn.
Howdy.
Hello, Sheriff.
McQueen, what are you trying to do? Excuse my deputy, he's a little jumpy.
A little?
You take care of the horses, McQueen.
And that doesn't mean shoot him.
Well, there's no harm in being careful. We're on a manhunt, Sheriff. You could have been the man we're searching for.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Well, I understood the men that you're looking for are on foot.
All right, McQueen, take care of the horses like I told you.
Where'd you get that trigger-happy deputy?
Queen, well, he was wished on me by the town fathers of Sonoita.
You mean he doesn't shoot at them?
No, he's after this. But welcome anyway, such as it is. Let's get on inside. Tell me, Clay, what brings you out here? Nothing happening in Tombstone?
Oh, I got a telegram from the U.S. Marshal in Tucson. He asked me to contact you about one of your escaped prisoners.
Well, Holden could be innocent then, huh?
Yeah, according to that, they've got new evidence, and they want to give him another trial.
Holden was convicted of killing a Wells Fargo agent. I was at the trial. They had a good case against him.
Sometimes the law makes mistakes.
Yeah, like anybody else, I guess. McQueen? Yeah, you better read this. Might help calm down that trigger finger of yours. Well, Clay, there's only 2 of them left now. We buried Seth Wheeler this afternoon. No sense going into details on that. Now, Holden and Callahan are on foot and unarmed. We should catch up with them by morning. And, we're giving Holden every chance to come in.
I'd say we already gave him his chance. And he didn't take it.
You got a personal grudge against him?
I never saw him before in my life. But he's a convict. Nobody's proved he's innocent yet.
Sounds like a coyote.
No, it's not coyotes.
Well, what is it, Sheriff? Owls?
Apaches.
Apaches.
Renegade Apaches have been raiding the prospectors in these mountains.
Well, I guess we don't get all the news in Sonata.
Subscribe to the Tombstone Epitaph.
How many Apaches are supposed to be?
Some say 15, some say 50.
That puts us about the same boat as Holden Callahan.
No, not quite. We've got guns and they haven't. But we got something else working for us. Apaches don't attack during the night. They'll wait for dawn. We'll just have to get up real early.
October 18, 1884. Sheriff Parsons followed the trail of the escaped convicts with an experienced eye. Their time was running out, and there was no trace of Indians or coyotes.
They weren't armed.
Looks like they are. Maybe they got the guns from the people inside that cabin.
Yeah.
Clay, you keep us covered. Queen and I'll work our way in close.
Eli, remember, we want Holden alive.
Yeah. All right, Clay, you come with me. Queen, you give us cover.
Maybe you'd like us to surrender to them.
Eli, you talk to him from here. I'll circle around behind the house.
Clay, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be taking the chances here.
Well, you're not exactly home in bed.
Holden! We have new evidence in your case. You're gonna get a new trial. You hear me? Holden!
Hold it! Give me the rifle. Come on in. How is it, Parsons?
It looks worse than it is.
Take him inside, McQueen. I've got bandages in my saddle pack.
Oh, are you a sheriff?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, catch them! Kill them! They killed my brother!
Clay, is this the sharpshooter?
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I thought they were coming back.
Who?
2 men. They came here this morning. They demanded food and guns and horses. Oh, we must fix that arm. My brother tried to stop them.
Gauze and bandages.
Thank you. But there was an older man.
Oh, that'd be Callahan, Clay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what the other man called him. He grabbed a gun from the table. He shot George. The other man tried to stop him. They fought. For a moment, I thought he'd killed the other man. Oh, am I hurting you?
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
Then this Callahan forced the other man to go with him. They took our horses and rode south. They're probably dead by now.
Apaches?
I've seen them twice this last week. George and I were working a streak of silver south of here. The Apaches were camped out there one night. It's been so hard here. George tried. I'll be all right. Just give me a few minutes.
Well, what are we going to do with her? Can't leave her here, can't take her with us.
Clay, I'll stay here and help. I'm not good for much else.
Well, let's go.
Queen, remember, we're giving Holden a chance to come in, and don't you forget. Oh, Clay.
Yeah?
Be careful, huh?
Are the Apaches?
No.
October 18, 1884, noon. The escaped convicts, now armed and mounted, left a trail that led deep into Indian country.
Holden and Callahan?
I don't know. You take cover here, I'll scout ahead. And if it is Holden and Callahan, I want to take them without gunfire. No sense advertising ourselves to the Apaches.
Law. So you made it. You're as good as dead, Sheriff. I never saw so many Indians. You know something, Sheriff? You ain't no different from me or them Redskins. You shot down Wheeler when he tried to give himself up. My boots. They even took my boots.
What happened to Holden?
Bullet or a noose. I never figured on an arrow.
Is Holden still alive?
Gave him my gun. Told him to make a run for it.
Where'd he go?
Up there somewhere. What difference it make? We're all dead, man.
Must be a coyote.
Yeah, a coyote with a new pair of boots.
Let's get out of here.
Holden could still be alive.
Well, we won't be if we stay.
Then you go back.
Clay, up on the hill.
McQueen, take the horse's time out of sight.
Exactly what I had in mind. Can't interview the Apaches. Don't speak the language.
What are you worried about? Making their meaning pretty clear. We're sure of one thing.
What?
Queen's on our side for the time being.
Times when the sword is mightier than the pen.
Guess there'll be no holding you down after today.
Provided I live through it.
Holden's still alive.
How do you know?
Just saw him duck into a mine shaft up there.
Well, his chances of survival are better than ours.
Cost him too much. McQueen!
Yeah, I'm here. I'm low on ammunition. How about you?
Couple of rounds.
Look, let's get out of here before they come back.
You two stay here with the horses. I got some unfinished business.
Holden?
That's right.
Where?
I'll take care of him.
Holden? Can you hear me?
Save that ammunition. I got a telegram from the U.S. Marshal in Tucson. You're going to get a new trial. Can you hear me? Don't spoil it for yourself now. Throw out the gun and follow it.
One bullet.
Take care of himself.
I know what I'm doing. You watch the horses.
I'm not armed.
Well, they really shot you up good, didn't they?
I'm still alive.
Can you ride?
If I'm really getting a new trial, I'll walk to Tucson. That's him. He's the one that framed me for that Wells Fargo job.
Don't move, Hollister. A bullet can beat the fastest draw.
That's right. Now what?
Oh. Well, I'll just tell him that the posse and convicts were killed by Apaches.
And you were the only one that escaped.
That's right. I was lucky.
Clay?
Your timing couldn't be better. Let's go have that leg taken care of.
Well, Hollister, this is my last official job. When I get Holden back to Sonoyta, I quit.
Oh, well, maybe you ought to think that over. You know, there's nobody in line for the job anymore.
No. McQueen wasn't right for it. Anyway, Sonoyta needs a younger man. Besides, I've made a business deal.
Oh, business deal?
Yes. I'm coming back and help Bess work the mine. You see, Bess and I are going in a partnership.
Well, I'd say that you're not getting any older. Matter of fact, you're a lot younger. As a very attractive woman.
Thank you, Sheriff, but I do need help.
Well, bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, and who knows about that mine? I wish someone would take a shot at me.
Oh, well, you just keep writing those fiery editorials.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
By the fleeing gunman.
cut off somewhere.
We'd have seen them. They're out there somewhere in that rubble hiding, watching us.
They can't stay there.
I don't know. Past year, I've followed one after another of them just this far, and then they disappear.
Somebody hiding them?
Yeah, that's my guess. Let's try to draw them out, pull back, make them think they lost us. Follow him. See who they're doing business with. Cover me, I'm riding in.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory.
Caught a rotten ricochet.
You think you can walk on it? I sure hate to leave you. That's bad.
I'll be all right. Did you get a good look at him?
Good enough. The Burnett brothers, Horn and Hugh. I'll get a wagon. Be back for you before dark.
Gunther? Horn Burnett, this is my brother, Hugh. A friend of mine said if I haven't gotten any trouble, this is a place to come to.
This is, Mrs. Gunther.
Sure.
Dinner will be ready in 10 minutes.
Give me your guns.
You think I'm stupid? Yeah, most of the time. Give me your gun, you.
How much did you get?
About $8,000.
8,000. I'll take 3. That ought to about do it.
Hey, there's more than that in there. What do we get for it?
You get fed.
While you're in here.
As soon as the sheriff gives up, I give you the high sign and have horses cashed for you on your way to Mexico.
What about some of that grub you just got paid for?
As soon as I get your horses mixed in with mine in the corral. Incidentally, I'm the only one you deal with around here.
McAllister.
It's the sheriff.
He's gone.
Well, you had some trouble?
What do you mean, trouble?
Well, somebody's ridden these horses awful hard.
Well, that's Mrs. Me.
Oh?
I haven't had time to rub 'em out yet. She rides like a man, that woman of mine. Miss Gunther?
Boy, aren't women wonderful? If it had been me, I'd have come in looking worse than the horses.
I was just telling Clay about how hard you ride my horses.
Yes, as soon as we got in, I freshened up. Left poor Will here to do all the work.
Well, I was worried when I saw the horses that you might have had a brush with the Burnett's.
Who?
The Burnett brothers. They robbed the bank at Tombstone, killed the teller.
Caught them?
Almost. So then they shot Harris Clyburn in the leg. The bullet might have hit the bone. I'll need a wagon and some help to get him back to the doctor. He's not very far from here.
Well, I do have a wagon, but
Will, dear, I'll be all right.
I'll hitch it up. Easy. Can make it? Well, I guess you don't need me anymore.
Thanks for the wagon.
Welcome.
I'll have you in town taken care of by dark. And I'll take care of the Burnetts.
As I remember it, you got everything for a man with a sweet tooth.
Is that why you left Tucson without saying goodbye?
Doesn't appear like you've been pining much, Mrs. Gunther, ma'am.
All right, Hugh. I never expected to see you again.
So you, up and got married, huh? Even found yourself a husband and started a little business. Yeah, this'll keep you warm.
Horn in broad daylight.
Oh, it's coming dark.
Your brother's probably listening.
He probably is.
Why do you torture him?
Well, he has to get over you. I told him that the minute I saw you in Tucson. You got over him, didn't you?
You made me forget him. And everyone else.
Maybe that's why I ran without saying goodbye.
I know now you don't want marriage, and neither do I. Not with Will.
So what do we got?
Everything we had before.
What's that about, you?
Taking my share. From now on, I'm taking my share of everything.
Well, you know she's too rich for your blood, you. You learned that a long time ago, didn't you?
Yeah, she wouldn't have been if it hadn't been for you. As soon as I get out of this hole, I'm on my own.
Well, I told you 100 times, you're gonna end up with a rope around your neck or a bullet in your back. And leave me alone in a cruel world. Now, you don't call that brotherly, do you?
Shut up!
Well, let's get out of here.
What will you do with the Burnetts?
We'll send them on their way.
What about the sheriff? For all you know, he may be still hunting for them.
But I told you as soon as we had enough money, we'd get out of here. Well, we have enough money. Paris first, huh?
You go. I'll stay with the Burnett's.
I knew it. Now, which one?
You don't seem to understand what I mean, do you? You throw them to the law, and the rest won't let you live to see Paris. Oh, and Will, you ever lay a hand to me again, I'll walk out on you. You want to hold on to me. You treat me like a lady.
Well, thanks for walking me home.
You do still love me.
Yeah, sure.
What's the matter?
Well, you said he was running out on me. I guess he meant it. I'll see you later.
Horn, come on up.
Time to go?
That's right, it is. You got more than you paid for here.
What do you mean?
You and my wife.
Look, let's be sensible.
That's right, it is.
Hold it. Hand it over. Put it in the bag, by the handle. That's for my brother if I ever see him again. Now show me the way to Mexico. Not all the way, just far enough. He'll be back before that lovely wife of yours knows you're even gone. Now get going.
Relief forces camped out ahead, Harvey?
Right behind Spring Rock, just like I said. You can't miss them.
Well, I guess I won't need you anymore. I could kill you, but I'll let you go on living a slow death. Worrying about every man that even looks at Viola. Oh, if you see that fool brother of mine, send him along after me. I'll be waiting for him.
Oh, I will. That yours?
Yeah. Glad you're here, Clay.
How'd it happen?
Well, I heard a ruckus out here last night. I came out, and this fella jumped me.
He's one of the Burnetts, you know.
The outlaws?
That's right.
Well, maybe I won't have to stand trial for this.
He might even get a medal, if that's the way it happened. Was the other brother here, too?
I don't know. It could have been. When I got up this morning, one of my good horses was gone. That's where I've been. Out looking for him. No trail, no sign, nothing. He's probably plumb out of the country by now. Well, come on in the house, Clay.
Viola? Clay Hollister's here.
I guess she must have overslept the excitement of last night, no?
Viola? Viola?
She's gone. She's gone.
Yeah. With Horn, Burnett. Looks like you killed the wrong man.
That's right. But I'm going to kill the right one.
No, Will, you're under arrest.
Just don't try to stop me, Clay.
Put away the rifle, Will.
Don't try it, Clay. I unloaded it. At least Viola got away.
Yeah. Yeah, with another man.
I'll get him.
Sure, if you know where he is.
Clay, I know where he is. I'll take you to him.
I don't know, Will. I'm supposed to take you to jail.
But he's a killer, Clay. What about the bank money?
Yeah.
My wife's with him.
All right, Will.
You know, if he gets across the border, I can't touch him. He won't make the border, I can promise you that.
Where are you, Horn?
Figured I was a goner, did you?
What do you mean?
That husband of yours. There'll be fresh horses waiting in the corral.
Will.
And the sheriff. I guess Will wants us both dead.
Let me kill him. You stay right here where I can see you. You make one move for those horses, I'll shoot you as quick as he would.
Bernard! Throw down your gun and come out! Next time I shoot for keeps.
Oh, boy.
Look, Sheriff, let's talk sense. This is a standoff. You go your way and I'll go mine. All right, you'll show yourself before I do.
Horn? Horn!
Drop the gun, Will.
Move aside, Viola. You won't move.
Don't do it. You'll live.
Yeah. I'm afraid I will.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone